Each week, American History TV's Real America brings you archival films that help provide context to today's public affairs issues.
But here we are at a Republican Party love-in. And you know, you have all been so kind and you've remembered all the things to make me feel good. Which makes me really feel good because there's one thing you could have remembered and I'm glad you forgot. Here it is 30 years later and you've forgotten that when I was here before I was a Democrat. You know, speaking of the Democrats, they had a fundraising dinner in Washington last week at $1,000 a plate. And the press reported that the president mingled. He wasn't mingling, he was counting. I've never been able to understand how they can run a dinner at a profit and the country at such a loss. The Democrats deny that they used any pressure in getting the people to buy those $1,000 tickets. They didn't. They just told them it was a new kind of payroll savings. Buy a ticket and save your place on the payroll. You know, there'd be one way to make sure that crime doesn't pay. Let government run it. I remember way back in 1964 when they said all the way with LBJ, and now we know what he meant. Now, if it seems that I'm picking unduly on the opposition, please note that I'm picking on the leadership of the Democratic Party, because I'm sure that there are millions of fine, patriotic members of that party who are deeply disturbed with what has taken place in the nation's capital as we moved from 1960 and the new frontier to the Great Society. They know that the Great Society is not the wave of the future. It's the end of an era, a dismal rehash of the methods and the language and the philosophy of the past, the Dark Depression days of the 30s. Civilian bureaus have multiplied like wire coat hangers in a closet. Federal employees have increased 2.5 times as much as the increase in population in these last 8 years. And the payroll has gone up 7.5 times as much, and government spending has gone up 8.5 times as much. The federal government spends $425 million a year just on public relations to tell us how well they're treating us and how prosperous we are. Never have so few spent so much telling us so little. If you want to spend more than you earn, you use credit. And there are many situations where this is justified. Emergency cases where we have to use credit to reestablish our former healthy state. Likewise, we provide for an education, or we start a new business, or improve or expand a business. Things which are based on the sound hope that future income will be higher and then just justify the use of credit. You may not use credit just to live it up and enjoy a better life than you can afford. And the rules are the same for a nation as they are for us as individuals.